Hey everyone, this is Yvette Hampton. I am the host and producer of Schoolhouse Rocked, the Homeschool Revolution. It's our documentary that we're filming. We've been filming for about a year and a half now. And in the spring of last year, Garrett and I went to the Great Homeschool Convention and we got to film an interview with Janice Campbell. And she said, you have to get an interview with Mary Jo Tate. And I said, okay, well that would be great, but she's not here at the convention, and so you weren't anywhere where we were going to be at the time. And I said, well, she's all the way in Tennessee. And I remember Janice sent me an email and she said, it's such a pity that you can't get an interview with Mary Jo Tate. I said, we'll work on it. We'll do what we can. Well, God had a great plan, as he always does. And so he brought us to Tennessee. We've been here for a month already, which is unbelievable. This past month has gone by so fast. Wow. It has been a very exciting month. We have so many things to share with you guys about what God is doing. But it just so happens that you live, what?
15 miles from this very spot.
Yeah, 15 miles. And where we are right now is actually the place that we have been staying for the past month. This amazing, sweet homeschool family, great Christian family has allowed us to stay in their shop. They have a farm and they have this shop where they've built out a kind of an apartment in it. And it's been a really great place to stay. But yes, you're like 15 miles from us. So I said, hey.
Moves in mysterious ways.
Right. I said, hey, we're coming to Tennessee. Can we do an interview? And you are, I think I told you, you are the caboose. You are, we're almost done filming. We have gotten pretty much all of our interviews. We still have a little bit of B-roll to film, but we're excited to finally get to meet up with you. So introduce yourself to our people at Schoolhouse Rocked and tell them a little bit about you and how you're involved in the homeschool movement.
I'm Mary Jo Tate. I am the mother of 4 boys, and I am nearing the end of my 21st year of homeschooling. I only have one left who's still being homeschooled. The boys are 26, 23, 21, and 17, and they're all taller than I am now. My youngest one is finishing up his 10th grade year, and the other 3 are in or just about to finish up college. And so we've been doing this for a really long time. So I'm what some people would call a veteran. That also means you're battle scarred, but it means you've learned a lot along the way. And for most of those years, I have been homeschooling as a single mom. My husband left when the boys were 9, 6, 4, and 6 months old. And so a lot of what I think we want to talk about today is just encouragement for people who are homeschooling in difficult circumstances, whether it be single parenting or a spouse on military deployment or chronic health issue or whatever. And I love your mission at Schoolhouse Rock to encourage and equip people to homeschool and to drive away the fears and replace them with tools and hope that people can use, and that's really where my heart is too. So I appreciate the opportunity to be with you today.
Well, we're super excited to have you. Tell us a little bit about your book. You've got a book here called Flourish, and if you guys watch till the end of the video, she's given us a few extra books that we can give away. So we have 3 books to give away, so watch till the very end and then we'll tell you about how you can possibly win one of those books. So tell us a little bit about this book that you've written.
Well, this is just pretty much everything that I have learned about managing life. Time management, setting goals, organization, teaching your kids to be independent. There's a chapter for single parents. There's a chapter especially about homeschooling. There's a chapter about home business. I've had a home business as a book editor for 32 years, and the home business life blends really well with homeschooling. And so just everything that I've learned through those 21 years of homeschooling and 26 years of being a mom about how to make life work. Because often the challenge with homeschooling isn't how do you homeschool, it's how do you fit in homeschool with all the rest of your life. Yeah. And so this is not so much how to homeschool as it is how to make homeschool your lifestyle. So.
That's great. I know there are so many fears that people have with homeschooling, and one of them is that, and I don't know that fears is the right word, but so many reasons people have that they find not to homeschool if they're feeling like, oh, I want to homeschool, but I can't because, and one of them is that it's hard to balance life and homeschooling.
Right.
And so this book is great. I just got my copy of it today. Mary Jo brought one to me, so I will get to read it, and I'm excited to read it because that's something that we all deal with. And you know, one thing I've learned this is our 7th year of homeschooling, is that you can't get it all done perfectly.
Right.
You know, you're never going to have the perfectly clean house and the perfectly groomed kids and, you know,
No.
perfect homeschool environment that's always neat and clean, and your kids are always going to be where you think they should be academically. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But there are so many rewards to homeschooling that it's
Absolutely.
okay. And I think one of the things that I've learned and that we've talked a lot with people about is we tend to think that our kids need to live up to this standard that's set by society, you know, whether it's grade levels or test scores or whatever it is. Society sets these levels for them, and we think, well, you know, they're in 3rd grade, they should be reading at this level, doing math at this level, doing, you know, history and science, they should be at this level. But who's to say that that level is the right level, because every child is different. And so I think being able to give ourselves a little bit of freedom in teaching them the academic part of it, but also teaching our kids how to just do life.
Right.
You know, how to
do life is a great way to put it.
Right, because there are so many parts. When kids are in a classroom all day, they miss out on many important parts of just everyday life.
Well, one of the things I love about homeschooling is that life isn't compartmentalized. It's all one piece. So I don't look at homeschooling as what you do from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, unless that's what suits your family, or if you live in one of those states that dictates laws and the hours. That's becoming fewer and fewer, fortunately.
Right.
But I look at homeschooling as a way to bring the family together and keep the family together. And for me, homeschooling, people say, well, why did you begin to homeschool? Well, it just didn't seem logical after being a mom at home for 5 years to suddenly send my kids off for somebody else to train and bring up. And for me, it was just a logical extension of being a mom at home. And that's how it started for me. And just the family togetherness and the opportunities that you have to be together, to learn together. I always have had my boys all studying the same era of history and reading books at different levels and so on. And so they, you know, they'll act out the Civil War or the American Revolution or, you know, knights and castles and dragons and so on. And they can all live in that era that they're studying together. And integrating your education into your life is so beautiful. There's so many things that my boys have done that I regard as education that would never fit inside a classroom.
Right.
One of my boys went on a mission trip to Peru with my church when he was 13. I didn't go with him.
Wow.
I had to actually sign temporary papers over to the assistant pastor, who I had known for many, many years and trusted well, to be officially in charge of him flying out of the country.
Yeah.
And he grew so much from that experience. My boys have all, the 3 oldest ones have all come with me to entrepreneurial conferences and have learned about having a home business. They've gone, you know, people worry about homeschoolers being isolated from the real world. Are you kidding me?
No.
Homeschooling
It's
is
not
the real
a thing,
world.
people.
Yeah, a classroom with 20 other people who are exactly your same age is not the real world. I have no idea how old you are. Are we allowed to talk to each
43.
other? Well, I'm 54, so see, we would never have known each other in school.
Right.
But one of the beautiful things about homeschooling is you can go out into the world as well as your home. Things as exotic as going to Peru on a mission trip, and things as ordinary as being out in our front yard inspecting the sunflower house that we had planted, and my nature-loving son finding an unusual bug and saying, oh, I got to run inside and get my insect field guide and look this up and see what kind of bug this is. And meanwhile, I'm going, ew, bug. So I just love the way that homeschooling brings the family together, allows flexibility for all kinds of opportunities. It's worked well for me as a single mom with a home business. I've had to teach my boys to learn independently a lot, and they have benefited from that. When they've gone on to college, they said, Mom, my classmates don't even know how to study if there's not somebody to tell them what to do right now. And so there really are lifelong benefits to learning independently.
Yeah, we've talked to moms before who have said, whose kids were in school, and they say, by the time they take their kids to school and drop them off, go home and do their thing, go back and have to pick them up, get back home, and then spend, 2 to 4 hours or so doing homework with them, they're spending more time doing that than they could have spent just homeschooling.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take that much time.
It doesn't take all that much time.
And then it opens up all kinds of doors and opportunities. You and I were talking earlier about our family's journey and what we've done. And our girls have visited 20 states now.
That's amazing.
So far. And it's been a great opportunity for them just to see different parts of God's creation.
Oh, yeah.
We're from California, and so they were kind of in their little California bubble, which is beautiful. But they've now been to Virginia and DC and Alabama and Georgia, and I mean, all the way across the country, of course, because we've driven across the country, and they've gotten to see so much, and just they've experienced the United States geography in person.
Right.
They've driven the map, and
instead
of
know
just
it
drawing
in a
it,
real
and they
way.
know it in a real way, and so it's really fun when we get to look at a map and ask where's this state, where's that state, and so. Anyway, we are excited to get to interview you, and I know that you'll be a great encouragement to those who get to watch the documentary and who will, just hopefully win this book. If you are interested in getting this book, and if you have not signed up for our mailing list yet, please do so. We will actually pick 3 different people from our mailing list. It's schoolhouserocked.com. And just go on there, sign up for our newsletter. It only goes to Garrett and I. We won't sell your email address to anyone, I promise. But that's the best way, really, to keep up on what's going on with the documentary. We're looking to do a theatrical release through Fathom Events, probably in May of 2019, awesome. Is what we're looking at. So we have a little bit more than a year before the movie actually comes out. But the best way to stay, up on what's going on with production and all of that is to be subscribed to our mailing list. So we will pick 3 winners from our subscriber list. Please share this video on Facebook. Comment. It's always fun to get comments on there, as long as they're nice.
Well,
Don't
obviously they're going to be nice. Yeah.
Mostly they are.
Yeah, homeschoolers are pretty good.
They are pretty nice. But comment, share, like the video, do all that fun stuff, and then sign up for our mailing list. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to shutting this down and getting on with the big cameras and doing our interview for the movie.
I'm excited to be part of the work that you're doing. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.